We got Alessia. We got us Archie. We got us Daddy. Daddy's back in here with Gritchy. Gonna be first up as Boomkin with a Resolve Trinket versus Papa come back as a Feral Druid. How well is Gritchy gonna be able to do this? Trying to get some dots up and running versus Papa. Papa making sure to dip behind the pillar, trying to let the dots of the damage going for Gritchy. Gritchy's just out in the open with the Barks and Thorns. He's just waiting for Papa to get back up to him. Papa waiting on until he gets a full reset. Looks like he's not able to get himself a proper stun opener versus Papa. It looks like it's going to be Gritchy trying to go for most amount of damage. Got himself a Result Chicken with a Venti Burst, trying to see if he can ramp it up. Can he do it? Trying to see if he can might get some mobility. He's going to try to see if he can bust himself out of those roots. Try and knock back Papa out. It looks like he wants to ramp up the Venter. Is he going to be able to do it? Got him some 1-star Surge while Venter is ramped up, but looks like the Venter or Hysteria is going to end up stunning him out. Trying to go for the most amount of burst out of there. You basically just got to get Papa out in the open with that burst, and then spam as many instant cast abilities as possible as quickly as you can in order to ramp up a lot of the damage. Gonna be what looks like a star around Gritchy. Eventually it's gonna knock up Papa. Gonna be a big Resolve Trinket. Gritchy is gonna be able to get himself at least a little bit of recovery while Papa's looking to find ways to bleed out the tough bear hide. Gonna be a poor opportunity for Gritchy. It looks like Papa's not gonna interrupt it just yet. Looking to interrupt this regrowth going forward. Gritchy's limited on the mobility, on the defenses you can really use. Gonna be a Barsky Wall and Bear Form with a Thorn Cyclone to follow. Was I gonna get not even interrupted? Papa just maintained the damage pressure and try to see if he might be able to take out the Boomian with Daddy gonna be up next. Try to see if he might be able to make himself a big grenade work. Gonna be a potential Cyclone almost getting the kick versus Daddy. Daddy could go for a Re-Cyclone into the Rogue right now if he wanted to. Does Rogue have a killer shot come back up very soon? Papa just waiting out in the bear form. Got himself friends of regen. Gonna be a quick charge towards Daddy. It looks like he wasn't able to root him in place. I think trying to bash him too. Might have been able to dodge it. Was that a natural dodge by the Rogue? Because that was not an evasion for sure. Gonna be a flash cut down for Papa as he's looking to get himself a little bit of taken. He's trying to keep the Rogue in combat with that before he catches himself a reset. Try to see if he might be able to force some Trinket out of this Rogue. Bash to follow as the bleeds are up and running. Then it could be in a tight situation. That's a big Berserk bleed rotting down his health bar. Not really giving him much of an opportunity to recover. It's going to go for a kidney shot. Looks like the bleeds have staved off for just a moment here, as Daddy is continuing to run away from the Feral Druid. Is definitely going to start thinking about using defensives. Definitely wants to use some CC in order to get away from him. Going to be a quick flash cut as he not even dies in stealth. It's going to be Papa unable to get an interrupt. So actually it was a pretty big defensive for Daddy. Got himself at least a little bit of recovery. But looks like his shield got absolutely bitten right through with the bleeds and the big old bite. And Daddy's just in a tight situation. No longer has a big defensive. Doesn't have evasion. Doesn't have anything. Doesn't have a blind anymore or anything whatsoever. Looks like Papa just going to whittle him down. Thorns, and Daddy trying to be sure he does not attack. Papa come back with his prickly thorns on him. Hits him with a kidney shot. Looking for the reset. Moonfire is not going to let him escape. Unless Daddy got summoned here. Maybe a slow anything whatsoever versus Papa. I think it might be over. Trying to get the spikes up and running, but I think it's going to be done and done. Not giving the Druid an opportunity. Or Druid rather, not giving the Rogue an opportunity to get any kind of reset. Immediate maim onto Archie as the Earth Elemental joins in. He is going to trap the Feral in the static totem with the stun right after. Following the thunder, it's going to be Archie trying to see if he can ramp up a little bit of damage. It looks like he's trying to get a little bit of pressure rolling versus Papa. Big lightning bolts to follow. Bar skin and healing available for Papa come back as he's trying to nullify a lot of the damage out, but a lot of the blasted damage out of Archie. Big alien blasters get Papa super low though, and Archie's just continuing his onslaught. This Shaman ramped up quite a bit of momentum. Papa looks to cover a little bit of health behind the pillar. Quick maim onto Archie. Perfect opportunity for Papa to maybe get some reverse damage back onto the Chamois. Does use a resonator trigger for an explosion work together with the bleeds. Big alien blast setting Papa back though as he got himself the friends of region emergency heal while in bear form. Gonna be the Ghost who's charging in. The wolves are catching the cat, trying to go for regrowth and maybe going to go for a quick flash cut. In those kind of situations, it's so hard not to. It's so hard. Like, what do? Do you just hold back and just get Cyclone and let him go for a flesh cut right after? I don't think you can. I think you literally have to go for an interrupt. You have to interrupt it and then let him get a flesh cut off. They're going to get a defensive out of it. They're going to get a shield out of it. It's super annoying. There's not much you can really do. But you gotta have to. Gonna be a static on him for a second as Archie trying to see if he can keep the Feral in one place. Game of playpen to play in. Gonna be big Alabaster falling to Papa as he's again dipping low in health. Archie got himself plenty of damage, still has wall and everything, so he can go defensively. He can basically continue the onslaught while Papa defensives. Trying to use the Maelstrom and the mana. in order to keep himself alive as best as possible. Stun Totem tried to go for a Stun onto Papa. Big Ellie Blast dunking on the Feral Druid. Maim onto the Shaman. Might just have to go for a wall immediately. Wall with a trick, and as he sees the big blades coming out, try to see if he might be able to mitigate a lot of the damage, a lot of the pressure out of this Feral Druid. Papa come back, just trying to continue. The bleeds are rolling in. The Ghostos are slowly but surely charging back out for Enhanced Shaman rather. This could be a big opportunity, but the Ellie Blast is going to be a massive blast with Thorns are up and running. Archie trying to see if he can zap out lightning bolts with the Feral, but it's going to be a big stun with a full Feral Frenzy and a bind, but Papa ended up reversing a lot of damage back towards the Chamois. It looks like Apchechkina is going to be next up as a Shadow Priest. Can they somehow find a way to beat Papa come back? Yo, versus Archie? Papa? Dude, that was such a clutch duel. That could have been anyone's game, man. At the end, it was just a quick stun with a frenzied, and it looks like the Shaman barely got bitten there. It was so close, man. That could have been anyone's game in the end, though. Jeshka tried to go for as much damage as possible versus the Feral. That's gonna be a big Void Eruption with Void Bolts flying everywhere, trying to land a Horrify onto Papa as it frantically just keeps firing out mortars in all directions. Papa is gonna go for a bit of a flesh count. Could be a silence out of the Shadow Pit. He decided not to use it just yet. Decides, you know what, I'm just gonna ramp up a little bit more damage versus Papa come back. This is gonna go for big PI, get himself all the dots in the world to follow with the Devouring Plague rolling in. That's also gonna be the Shadow spawning in with the silence on the Papa. The Shadow is gonna continue adding a bit of extra damage, so as Papa come back, but he's gonna just get hit with the stun. That's gonna be the health actually dipping quite low quite quickly. Oh, I think that was a Megalomania. Got himself surrendered to mana so they could cast while moving, and Papa waited for that Megalomania to bring back the Shadow Priest to 30% health, because at the end of Megalomania they are going to get put back to 30% health. Whatever happens, they're always going to get a verge of 30% health. So if they're under, it's a heal. If they're over, it's a damage on ya. Then Papa landed a quick Skull Bash, locking him out of Shadow, not getting an opportunity to disperse. It does end up biting through. Alessi is going to be up next. Got a couple bleeds on him. Needs to make sure to catch the Feral. Just to make sure the Feral does not get the opener, which is exactly what the Feral just got. That rake is going to hurt a lot. Alessi better have a response here as soon as possible. Looks like it's going to be full set of bleeds with the Root. Alessi just melting out in the open with Moonfire spamming on him. Not getting an opportunity to replay. Metamercer around the corner. Might be panicking. Going to be quick blur as they're dipping in the health low. It's going to be potentially massive healing as they kill the demon. And they pick up a little bit of health, a little bit extra damage. Going to be a Skull Bash versus those Eye Beams. And Alessia, just to make sure they pick up all. Looks like they didn't pick up the soul earlier and they just picked it up. Big burst out of Papa. Huge burst out of Alessia. Needs another demon to spawn in as early as possible. Going to be a bash, potentially maimed to follow by the Feral. Looks like it's going to be a quick roll. The bleeds are all on him. And Papa did not give his boys an opportunity to play the game at all. The team 1 came in with a 4-man, but Papa devoured everybody in a 5-man slaughter. Let's get another one running, boys. I want to see if team 1 can maybe get a +1 in there, and then give more boys on team 1 an opportunity to actually play the game, yeah?